In 5, 4, 3, 2.
Oh, God. Hey, Aaron.
Hey, Chip.
What did the Invisible Man crochet?
What did the Invisible Man crochet? I do not know. What did he crochet?
An Afghan like you've never seen.
Afghan like you've never seen. This is what happens when I set everything up and this one searches for jokes.
Hey, somebody's got to do what you got to do.
Oh my gosh. Are there more?
Oh, what happened to the cat that ate a ball of yarn?
What?
She had mittens.
That's so stupid. But slightly clever.
I love it.
Actually, it is kind of cute.
Yeah.
So,
Welcome to Fiber Hustle. My name is Chip, and I like to sew.
my name is Aaron. I like to crochet and knit. And this,
And you like to watch.
this is episode 5.
Episode 5?
I like how I did 5.
No,
Like
5.
I get that. I just need to pop that out.
Use a thumb.
It's episode 5.
Don't you use your thumb when you're knitting? I hear a bee.
Well, no,
I
so
heard
do
a
I.
fly or something.
Sorry, there's just something happening inside our house that I don't know
I
what it is.
swear I heard a fly.
I heard it as well.
Okay, thumbs.
Thumbs, bees, or something
Thumbs up.
flying in the house. Yeah, I guess when well, here we go. If I'm doing my thing, yeah,
Okay.
they do stuff.
I use thumbs to pinch.
I mean, it's an art you don't need all
What if
fingers
you
for,
didn't-
but it's nice.
What if you didn't have thumbs? What would your knitting be like? You'd be like,
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure.
no, you're using your thumbs.
Oh, I'm sure people do it all the time.
And don't you use your thumbs?
Now, thumb is more important to me. No, I don't know which world, crochet or knit. They're both, because like continental and crochet, everything's like wrapped around here somehow. I don't know what to do with my hands.
I think I could probably sew without thumbs because you're just pushing things and squeezing things. I could totally make out.
Def Leppard's drummer has one arm, so you can do anything in the world now.
What? How does he only have one arm?
Because he got chopped in a car accident in the, 87 or 88?
And he still drums.
Yes. Where have you been?
I.
This is like 30 years later.
You learn something every day.
He does things with his feet and does his other hand.
He has got to be quick.
He works out. Jerry Garcia, guitar player, is missing the top of one of his fingers. He's dead now, but he still did stuff. So there's no limits.
Is he the ice cream guy?
So they named Cherry Garcia after Jerry Garcia, but he really didn't. He's not part of Ben and Jerry's.
Okay, add that to the list. Music, I don't.
He knows nothing about
I
music,
know
which
nothing
makes
about
me completely sad, but it's all right.
But if and when we've gone to trivia, you need to be.
Yeah,
on
when we
the
go to
team.
trivia,
there
I'm the
is
music
a fly
person.
right there. I saw it.
I think it's outside. This is what happens when you have adults that have ADD.
Cherry Garcia.
Cherry Garcia, ice cream, blah, blah, blah. Okay.
Thumbs, Cherry Garcia, and flies.
Yes, exactly.
That's a good name for this episode.
That's what it's going to be called. Thank you for tuning into our knitting podcast. But what have you been doing?
It's
last
not
few
a
weeks?
knitting podcast. It's
And
a sewing podcast.
But I mean, true. Okay.
Oh Lord. So when you were editing last week,
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, I was watching Made to Measure on Apple TV, and I'm late to the game. And apparently, in February 2018, Calvin Klein had a runway show, and I know I was screaming. You were looking at the screen, the computer screen.
Me? Myself?
You.
Okay.
And you had headphones on because I was.
Oh, it was when I was actually editing.
You were editing. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, that fashion show that you were kind of like barely tuned into, Calvin Klein had part of his line for the fall of this year, all of these fashion looks that included quilting.
Oh, I did see that. I did look up every once in a while.
So I'm gonna include some pictures, but I was just like, it just totally goes with the theme of like what inspires you, and it was like Americana was like totally coming relevant again in fashion.
Yeah, I saw it and it was good. Like some of the,
Alexander McQueen, no, we want that one. I kept screaming. I kid you not. He made every woman look like she was going down that catwalk in a coffin, in a color blocked.
very
like,
dark.
Remember,
All just-
it was very dark. Like, what was the movie with the mask? It was The Mask, and Jim Carrey wore that yellow suit, and like these women were wearing suits that were 5 times too big. Now, granted, most of them are like this big to begin with, but like, who wants to be a box?
Isn't it a nod to the '80s power woman suit with the pads? I remember my mother wearing some things. It's like suddenly she was like, it just was like, oh,
which
she's heading out.
Which was a resurgence of like when Joan Crawford, like, she had.
Well, there was, I guess, were those pads or were those just like
those were big pads.
I don't know
Women,
what to call them.
that was shoulder pads.
Well, I understand the pads, but it looked like there was things just flying
No,
off
you're
their
taking me
shoulders.
into Renaissance. What is that? No, like you're going. I'm seeing like
Okay.
crocheted collars. You know, the women are really white.
Now this is Joan Collins? Crawford.
Crawford.
Okay.
Joan, did I say Collins? Crawford. Joan Crawford had those huge, crazy ass.
I've only seen 2 movies with her. And then the thing that came out last year with her, Susan Sarandon and
Yes.
Jessica Lange.
The Feud.
The Making a Baby Jane.
The Feud.
Feud. That was
If you
pretty
haven't
good.
seen it, watch it. It's well worth. It's short miniseries. Really, really
good.
And Susan Sarandon, she did an awesome job with playing Betty Davis,
Mm-hmm.
Baby Jane, hysterical. Absolutely. I mean, like, she friggin' nailed it.
Branch.
So, anyway, I wholeheartedly want you to just quickly check out Alexander McQueen 2018 Fall Runways show, and you'll see what I'm talking about. These women going down the catwalks in these boxes. Crazy. And lighten up, go to Calvin Klein's runway show, and you'll see all of the quilting-inspired fashion looks, and I think you might enjoy it.
There was someone that had a bunch of crocheted looks, I think, last year. But it was like exaggerated crochet. I wish I could find it and tell you more about it, but I can't. But I just remember thinking...
Like Shaw's?
It wasn't shawls. It was just like almost like whole sweaters, but they like were unproportionate, cut down the middle, and like the sleeve was bigger, and it was just...
You
It
really,
wasn't my
really
sort of fashion, but I mean...
are not painting a good picture. Like,
Oh,
I have no
I
idea
know.
what you're talking about.
It wasn't pleasant to my eye at all.
What was it?
It's just some fashion. I wish I knew who it was. I shouldn't even mentioned it because now, forget about it.
All right. Well, shall we get started?
We shall get started.
All right. Let's go to You Made That?
I made that. So last time we had a podcast, I showed you this photographer hat that I was making, and and a lot of people agreed that it looked like someone from, what show was it?
Femke
From Nip Tuck? Was that?
from Nip Tuck. Is it Johannesson? Yes. But anyway, Nip Tuck and X-Men.
Okay.
And people agreed with me. She looks like her.
I still don't know who that was. I skipped over the whole Nip Tuck thing.
So thank you for those who helped us out.
Okay. So this is my finished hat. I did it in 2 colors of Cascade 220. And last week I showed my Raining in Seattle crocheted hat. So I just used the leftover
Which
yarn.
you couldn't find because it was sitting on my head.
Yes, I think I said, oh, I was looking for it, and it was actually on his head. And these are colors 2448 and color 2441. Now, I like it. It kind of right now looks like a light bulb. But I think I probably should have made it all one color. Because I'm going to, here we go.
Why?
I don't, I feel like it would have flowed more one color. And the ball needs to come up instead of double colors. So it's not bad. Let me see if I can do this as well. I think it's probably more my style this way.
That looks good. That's okay.
this way. So yeah, I'm enjoying it, but I think I want it to look as cool as she is in the picture, and maybe my big noggin is just not making it
You know
as
what's
cool.
really cool? That unicorn shirt you're wearing.
It has everything. It has
wait,
USA, it has a cat riding the space shuttle, and a unicorn with sunglasses. All it needs is Make America Great Again, and it would be the perfect USA shirt. I kid.
Where was it made?
Oh, I don't know.
Probably Bangladesh. Honduras.
So thank you, people who live there and made this. But I like it. It's cute. Whatever. So yeah, I dig this hat, but I think next time if I did make it, I would probably make it in one color. But it was an easy knit. I started on the airplane when I went to Texas, and I just finished it this time. There we go. Much better. Other than that, a couple months ago, actually probably, when did Pacific Fabrics, what's the place in Portland? Fabric Depot had like one of their sidewalk garage sales last year. And I picked up this book, which is so Portland that it hurt. And it was very cheap. And it's the Knit Your Own Mustache, Create 20 Knit and Crochet Designs. So I've had it on the shelf for since we went there, like many months ago. And I decided this week to kind of knit some of these that were actually in the book, which I'm going to do. And I'll show you, there's some fun designs. I'm not going to give any of the patterns away. But we got basically just a bunch of hipsters with mustaches on. Then eventually we can make some bear and kitty ears. And if you want to make a sack bag on top of your head,
Now that is cool.
you are more than welcome to.
I didn't see that. I haven't looked through
Oh,
it.
you haven't looked at this? Yeah, there's just all kinds of stuff in this book, which is kind of a fun book.
No, coffee table book.
Coffee table book. Now, the patterns mostly call for DK weight. All I had was worsted weight left over. I can't even tell you what these are made out of because I went into my stash, my little scrap stash. So here's one for you. And here's one for myself. You're supposed to tie some elastic.
Oh!
I don't have...
It looks good on me.
Oh, I just broke mine. Now I'm really sad. Oh my gosh. This is the worst. Here's what it's supposed to look like. I did right.
I can't breathe.
Yeah, it's too... These look more like little buck teeth. But here's my mustache. I don't know how it came out because I tried it on earlier. Okay, so yeah, I made this little mustache. I made that mustache. You look so handsome with a mustache.
I should be on a gondola.
So yeah.
When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore.
But this is all I have made recently. My little mustaches, which I feel bad I can't put on because I was really...
mustache.
My mustaches. And each of them had like 60 lines to do. So it's all in garter stitch, but there's like a lot of knit two togethers. There's a lot of increases and stuff like that to get those patterns. Because it pretty much, you start here and you work your way down. Then once you're finished, you kind of just turn it on. And I wish I can give you the full effect, but again, I'll try.
Where's the other one? You made 3.
I don't know where that one is.
You said you made 3. That's all I know about it.
I did. I think the cat's wearing it. I put one on the cat.
Oh.
Yes.
That's French.
So it's true. So that is all I have for You Made That. And Chip,
I made
you
that?
made that?
Well, it's funny that we're doing this because it actually does go with my shirt that I made.
It does. This is not even planned.
No, I just realized it when I saw in the monitor. So I made a shirt by hotpatterns.com, and this I always wanted an Italian, like a gondola shirt, and
It looks exactly
like the picture. I love that it has the wide neck. And this is just a ribbed knit. And then this was one of the first ones that I did on the serger.
Okay.
That I got for Christmas a couple years ago. Very, 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 very easy. The one thing I will say about this pattern, this thing is so itchy.
Well, you may take it off.
No, it looks good with my look.
It's a lot of look.
But like this pattern company runs large.
Okay.
So if like you like roomy, this is for you.
It's for you.
And actually, if you like this, I can make you one because of this, not this.
Okay.
You make this.
I'll
I
make
make
that.
this. I have a shit ton more of this fabric. It was on sale at Aunt Joanne's.
Nice.
Yeah. So
I would actually like one, but would we match?
And well, just don't wear it on the same day.
I think it'd be fun to wear them on the same day.
They're like, oh,
They're really into each other.
they're Italians.
I am, though. I did 23andMe.
Oh my god.
I got my results back. I'm Italian. Like, there was like 15%.
What are you now? I know you. I remember you being a mutt.
So I am over the charts German, French, and then just regular British.
No. Give us numbers.
Oh, I don't have the numbers with me. I didn't. This was unplanned. So yeah, it was like
Oh look.
tons of German, French, then I went to British, then like a little bit of, or maybe it was 2% Italian. Whatever. And then
Oh, you were.
and then 0.2% Southeast Asian, and then 0.1% some South African. Basically,
You were a lot
I've
of
been
things.
around. That's all I got.
Your people have been,
Mm-hmm.
which is good.
We know where the good stuff is.
Okay, so I look like I have a little Luigi nose.
It's a little nose.
No, I should be playing. What's the game?
Mario?
Yeah, Mario. So Seamus, our cat, got us that on Prime Day last year.
Oh, the 23andMe. Yeah.
23andMe for Christmas. So it took us forever to do the test because you have to spit, and it was just like you would think it was a chore. It wasn't, but it took us a couple months to finally turn it in, and then 6 weeks to turn around. And it's interesting. We got the one that they'll tell you that it's not a medical diagnosis. Big disclaimer. But in addition to telling you your heritage, your DNA heritage, it'll also tell you what you're susceptible for. Mm-hmm. Like if there's any illnesses that you are, based on your DNA, susceptible for. Which mine, one thing, ocular degeneration.
And you got 2 of those genes.
And I have, so I'm really susceptible. Everything else, I'm like clear.
What
as a
about
bell.
the late onset Alzheimer's?
Nope.
I had that.
Well, God.
Which might not happen, but then you're not going to see when I can't remember you.
Oh, God.
That's going to be a perfect life when we're in our 90s.
That's all right. My people don't last long anyway.
Oh, I don't know if mine either. I don't know.
All right. So me, I am 55% British Irish.
Mm-hmm.
I am 17% French German.
Mm-hmm.
I am 15% Ashkenazi Jewish,
I don't
which
understand.
I was so excited about.
I don't understand how that's not a place, or I don't know. I don't understand how they're like, oh, you're this much Jewish.
And then I'm 2.something% Scandinavian.
Okay. I don't think I had any of that.
And that was it. Like, you were all over the world, the map. Me, I were like, here.
We're very friendly people.
But,
That's why we...
yay, DNA.
Yay, DNA. No, it was fun to learn that kind of stuff.
So, I'm not Italian, but I like the Italian look. And it was very easy.
I have the Italian look. I don't at all, but...
This literally, once you get practicing using your serger, I mean, literally, this could be, like, you can make this in an hour. And it's very, very comfy, and you should make one.
Nice.
So that's what I've got for You Made That.
I like it.
I had to take this off.
That's fine. I understand. It's probably your lips is getting sweaty. Ooh.
Okay. Oh, I ripped it too.
You just took off 15 years on your face.
That was, like, can you imagine getting waxed like that? That would
hurt.
You wouldn't need to get any collagen in your lips because your whole face would be swollen and red.
I've never been waxed, and it doesn't sound like it would be fun. Which means you have.
All right, so Aaron, what are you making?
I'm currently making the flax sweater. Actually started it. Let me take it out of my favorite bag that Chip made. I am making this sweater out of Everyday Deborah Norville yarn, and this is all acrylic. And the color is, what was it? It was taupe. So here's the yarn. It's the taupe color. And I just, about 2 hours ago, sorry, there's a lot happening right here, folded it down and made my sleeve holes. So this is it so far.
Wait a minute, you make the whole thing at once? You don't piece it together?
So it's top down. You start here, go all the way down, make holes for your sleeve. Then once you get down here, then you make the sleeves and add them.
This is really turning out nice.
I think so. It's kind of a belly shirt right now.
What's going on here?
A big belly.
Was that a knot?
I think some of the yarn, we'll try to fix it later. But I think it's...
Oh, no, it looks nice.
Looking all right. The thing about what frustrated me is it's me, not the pattern. I'm kept tabs on everything I did. It said knit 22 rows, 1, 2. So you do the same thing, like you knit one row and increase. Then the second one you don't increase, but then you do the purl on the arm section. And I finished all the rows that they told me to, and then I still didn't have the right number of stitches. I was off like about 4 stitches, so I had to do it 2 more rounds of 1, 2, 1, 2, which probably means nothing to anyone except for my little English.
Does that mean it's going to grow?
But, no, I think I got it right, but somewhere I must have lost count or not pressed my little counter. So now I'm kind of freaking out. Is this right? Then it said measure 10.5 inches from here to here before you start the rest of it. And it kind of measured that, but when I pulled it like this, so I added another one. So we're gonna see what happens.
It might be a little bossy.
It might be a little bossy. Right now, I think it's looking all right, but I really can't judge it unless I actually.
No, I really like it.
You start out with 4mm on 16-inch. I started out with my what's this one? Sorry, give me a second. These are Takumis from Clover. And then I switched over when you get to the 5mm, I think it is. I switched over and just knitted off these. I would like to have started with my Zings, and this is the cord that I ordered. It is an 8-inch cord, but it's just me not probably doing things in my head. Because when I tried to knit like this, it's so tight. See that? That I had to start on these, which are pretty loose.
Wait, I don't understand. It's the same length.
It's the same length, but these are much longer, which I wanted to show.
Oh.
So, if you notice, that's why these are the same.
And so what happens?
So it's just, when I tried to knit with these, it was way too tight for 16-inch circulars, kind of. So that I started with these, then knitted off onto these, except for these. Does that all make sense? I feel like my mind works differently than everybody else's a lot.
No, I think
so I explain things, and it's
so
like,
you're wishing.
What?
Wait. So you're wishing that you could have started with these.
Yeah.
But you're looking for something with a shorter.
Yeah, these should have been a little bit shorter in order.
Can you get that?
Yeah, you probably can somewhere. But one thing that when I finished Chip's shawl, the Boneyard shawl that I did, I was using nothing but my Zings. Then when I started this sweater, I was knitting with these Takumis, and I forgot how much wood grabs. So it was like much slower knit. I was like, oh my gosh, I just can't wait till I get to these, because I'm falling in love with these and kind of the metal needles. There's probably...
But you were afraid of those.
I was afraid, because they were obviously a lot more slippery, and then once you get going, you're like... But these just grab onto everything, which I'm all right with. It's just... I guess probably different needles for different jobs.
So wait, so
else.
maybe the wood was a good starting because it's grabbing things. It's not so slippery.
Yeah. So that also
maybe
helps.
that was good for training.
This was my first set I ever bought because most people started like at Joann's and stuff like that, and this 60% coupon. Which still, I think this is way overpriced. It's like $170 if you don't have that 60% off coupon. Yeah, and the zings but there are not as many in there. The zings I think are like 70 or so, and yeah. So that's just a little bit of needle talk. Different needles for different things, but I was just sad that when these came, I was like, oh, these are too small, and it's not the cord's fault, it's not these fault, it's my fault for not actually doing some more research because I just can't get these tight and things. So, but next time I knit a sweater, maybe I will try. I haven't tried my likey, whatever they're called, needles yet because I've been doing...
Call the damn company.
This
Who are you?
Computer, how do you pronounce Lykke?
I pronounced that licky, but text-to-speech is always improving, and I might not have it quite right.
Well, you're
Well,
fine
wait a
today.
minute. Didn't you... I thought you turned her Australian.
No, I turned my Siri to Australian male.
Why?
For fun. Somebody says that the Australian and British listen more. They could have been pulling my leg, so...
They listen more? How could they listen more?
I don't know.
It goes to the same algorithms.
I don't know. Either way, she doesn't give me the information I'm usually looking for. That's just... And I'm
Who,
downing
Siri?
this drink. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I ask her stuff, and she's just... She gets on my nerves.
Well,
I said it.
I'm very proud of you that you finally...
I know. I'm like a big boy now.
You finally peeled the lid off that cat box.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that I can get it done in a reasonable time because I'm excited to try it on just in time for summer.
Well, wait. So, how fast are you hoping to get it done? Like, where do you see it?
Hopefully within 2 episodes from now. So I guess that's a month.
About a month. Because you're not doing it full time, like 8
No.
hours straight.
I mean, I'm not doing it full time, and since summer's here, there's yard work, there's exploring and stuff, so I'm not always in the house knitting right now, which is fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm hoping that it finishes soon, and I'll probably make some... I'm not very monogamous on knitting, so I'm hoping to make some things between that too, because I don't know, it's like doing the same thing over and over, the same project. I gotta venture out a little bit more than bring it back in. So.
I like the
side?
The side.
Yeah. And if anybody doesn't know the flax sweater, here is a picture of it right here. I think it's most people's first sweater that they do knit, because whoever wrote these instructions put them out very well and all that good stuff. So I'm excited to finish it. I hope it fits. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And you learn from your mistakes and trial and error and all that good stuff.
Well, I wish you good tidings on your sweater.
Thank you very much. Now, Chip, what are you making?
What am I making? I am so I had my postcards from Sweden, the very, very colorful 36 triangle color quilt.
Mm-hmm.
So the backing came in. I ordered it online from Fabric.com. Also, Fabric.com is owned by Amazon.
I did not know that till you told me that.
I know. And the crazy thing is that there is a price difference. So if you go from Fabric.com and you then price it on Amazon.com, you can get it at a cheaper price on Amazon.com because there are other sellers who maybe have something lower, and so like Amazon's always trying to beat everybody's prices.
Yeah.
So it was like you really have to watch your prices. So anyway, the fabric came in, but it was just because that thing is so enormous, I didn't have enough fabric. So I was ordering more fabric from Fabric.com, and it's like it took forever. It took like more than a week, and so like in the meantime, I was like, well, what am I going to do? So I got out one of my books. This is Denise Schmidt.
We might be related. That's my mother's maiden name.
Could be. Is that how you spelled it?
DT.
SCHMIDT?
Mm-hmm.
Well, You may have an author in your family.
We got a lot in my family.
So anyway, 20 quilts, and I chose the basket weave pattern. And it was like, this is literally a great pattern for noobs because it really doesn't command a lot of, you don't really have to be that nimble in different techniques because you're constantly just sewing straight lines.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, okay, this is my starting off point. This is my inspiration. And like this one, I think there's like 4 colors that they're offering. I dumbed it down into basically the blue and white that I got and I showed off a couple of podcasts ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I cracked open that fabric and did I even? Yes. So I have the...
Want me to hold something?
Oh,
you got a pile over there.
And God bless the AccuQuilt. I love, love, love the AccuQuilt because it makes me a rock star when it comes to, like, I've been using the, what is this one? It's labeled. This one is the 2.5 inch board.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, you can just barely see, but you have 1, 2, 3 strips that you can cut. And it literally gives you perfect strips to work with. So I've been using that hot and heavy, and you can really see that the board, you can't. There, if you see in the light, you can start seeing marks, and this is where it's going over the blades.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's well loved. I won't have to replace the actual cutting board with the blades. The mat is what you get. And this mat, I think, is like $20.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Yeah.
Go to Home Depot and make one?
I wish. But the nice thing is that it will not cut fabric unless it has that mat on top of it.
Yeah, that would be probably bad if it did.
It needs the thickness. So I ended up making, I thought I was going to make a smaller quilt. No, I made another king size. Because I had fabric and I was like, well, hell, I'm already doing it. So I did the blue and white, and I mixed it with 2 different color linen fabrics. And I need a corner.
Right here. Just got it.
I need an open corner. Here we go. No. Here we go. So I'm not going to show the whole thing, but basically the basket weave is every 3. So all literally is doing boop, 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 and you're just alternating. And then the fun thing is because I wanted to make sure that I really had a random pattern. So after I cut all of my individual blocks, I threw them in the dryer and was playing bingo. So it's like basically
Bingo lottery.
Block bingo. So through all my, so it just randomizes it. Threw it in and actually it was a really good technique, but next time I would probably put it in the dryer longer because some of the pieces stick together.
Yeah.
And so I want to make sure that I really get a random order. And so you throw them into a bucket once they've been mixed, and then you don't look, you just keep going and pick, and whatever it is, if it's the same that was the next one, so be it.
Reminds me a little bit of a story. If you watch Arn and Carlos, the knitters, they were talking about I think they were making a blanket, and they had a bunch of balls of their scrap yarn. And they're like, we just kind of reach in, grab whatever. He goes, it's your colors that you've already made things with so you know you're going to like it.
Yeah.
So he goes, you don't even have to look. You just grab what you had because it's going to be your colors that you like.
Yeah.
So.
And I would say that this is also a perfect, I mean, it really is a great first-timer if you're new to quilting. 100% cotton, so it's not slippery, and
yeah, I think it's cool.
Yeah, and so so I put this entire thing together in one day.
Wow!
Like between cutting and sewing all the pieces, one day. So all I have to do is sandwich it and then the quilting begins.
You've been quilt crazy. Well, you've been making things like this. The quilting has begun, but the tops have begun.
No, the tops. And I was waiting on this fabric, along with the other, for the backing. So in the meantime,
there's tons.
And this one is going to be another king size. This is going to be 96 wide by 102 long. So king size.
So basically, we'll have a different quilt on the bed each week.
You know what? Somebody asked me, and it's like I haven't been quilting for that long, but somebody asked me at work, like, well, where do you put all your quilts? What do you do with them? How many do you need? I heard a very good comeback to that was like, and that was from the Stitch Podcast, the Stitch Show. And she's like, how many do I need? One more than I've already got.
That's true. I mean, I have tons and tons of hats.
Yeah.
They're sitting there, but sometimes they sit there just in case there's a birthday that comes up. You're like, I don't have a present or anything. I mean, not everybody wants a hat, but it's like, here's something in the reserves and stuff like that. So.
Oh, and so I also went, like when I was inspired by the Denise Schmidt's 20 quilt book, I was like, oh, okay. So I went on to the EQ8, the electric quilt pattern software, and I just was like, okay, what could I possibly do with it? And it was nice to, I mean, like this was so easy. Like you could make colors with this, and with a click of a button, I can make every other one a different color, just like that. And then it could randomize it. So if you don't care about colors, and it's just like, hey, just for ideation, just no value judgments, just what could I make? It's so much fun because you could literally have a completely different look just by the colors that you use.
Do you think your grandparents would be happy about something like this, or would they scream because they went through all that? Like, would they be like, oh, I wish we had that, or that's not really doing it?
So that's the thing.
I wonder what my grandparents would think about that kind of technology.
So if you think about it, like years and years and years ago, like one community would have their very common blocks that they would make their quilt blocks.
Yeah.
And the same thing would be like with hats or with scarves. There would be, I mean, like each one would be regional. It might be similar to another one, but it really didn't cross over into different communities that quickly. Now all of a sudden, somebody comes up with an idea in Europe and it hits the U.S. market like fast.
Yeah.
So what's nice is that we have access to a lot more diversity in our craftsmanship, and I think it's a total boon. It's not.
Yeah.
I don't think they would have a problem with it. I think they would take a very similar stance that we would. I would hope that it's like, oh, the more the merrier.
Mm-hmm. I think so.
Yeah.
Anything to make it easier to get the job done.
So that is, what am I making? One, I have a second quilt top that I'm working on.
3 quilt tops in a month?
Yes. So the next one, I was like, you know what? What if I made, because we were thinking about like the jelly beans last week, and I'm like, where do you get your inspiration? Boom, boom, boom. I had inspiration, and that was like, what if I made a quilt based on Grandma's kitchen from the 1970s? What would that look like? So off to Joann's I went, and I started getting, that fell.
It happens.
I got, there should be 6, yes. So I was like, oh, okay. So we've got, how can I do this? 1, 2, 3.
I think these are the exact colors of
4,
a lot of stuff that was in my parents' kitchen
5,
in the late 70s, early 80s.
6. So, like, I know that I wanted it to be just a tad current, but I definitely wanted to say, I wanted to pay an homage to the 1970s kitchen, like the orange and the greens and the browns and the mustard color. So it's been a lot of fun, but it's been some give and take. And so it's like I would get 2 steps forward. No, what is Paula? What is
2 steps forward? No, 2 steps. It's something with MC Scat Cat. Terrible name.
Is it 4 steps forward, 2
No.
steps back?
2 steps forward.
I know opposites attract, but
I don't remember that. It has to be 2 steps.
Mr. Music can't figure out what the song
Well,
is.
Paula Abdul wasn't like top of my charts.
Hello, wait, what? Rush, rush.
Hurry, hurry, love, come to me. Yeah, I mean, I listened to it. Actually, my first kiss was to that song in an arcade in Ohio. That was like our summer song for like 3 months.
How did we go to?
Because we were talking about Paula Abdul.
Well, how did that come up?
Because you said something about 2 steps forward and 2
Oh,
steps back,
yeah,
and we
yeah,
get together
yeah.
in opposite
Thank
steps
you.
back, and you know it.
Thank you. Yeah, so like I would take 2 steps forward, 2 steps back, because I'm trying to come up with these blocks, and what looks good like here in the colors, and you can flash back to that, will not necessarily play out in real life. So I've got orange.
It's orange.
It's orange, and this is one of the keepers. I'm totally in love with that.
It looks great in the monitor. I don't know how it's going to
Oh,
put it on camera. But
You know
it's
what?
great.
Maybe I should like first offer where we're going with this, because the Midnight Quilter, brought to you by Craftsy.
I didn't even quilt, but I like watching her show.
Oh, I love
so
it.
watch the Midnight Quilter. Even if
Angela-
you're not really into it, she's very entertaining.
Angela Walters. She is very entertaining, and this was so her story is that she learned to quilt more than a decade ago from her husband's grandfather, and she'll tell you, you know, if you watch enough of her episodes, you'll come across the story. But she always, I appreciate that she's always appreciative and reminds people, yep, this is who taught me, and it's just great. So her videos don't take long, and they're they're
fun.
inspiring. So the pattern that and this was one of her originals for Craftsy, is this one. This is actually my notes that I was making, and there we go. So, and actually, there she is, if you can see her right there. Hello. But this was the pattern. I was like, it's busy, and it's not exactly what I'm hoping for, but I think I can work with it. So the patterns that, where are the ones? Okay, so you've already seen number 1 that
Which I love.
made it. So love that. And then, so there's 4 of those. And this is like a 72-inch square. Yeah. And then the next...
Huge.
It's like 5... a little more. It's about 5.5 feet.
Okay.
And then we've got some taupe. Love it. And I actually chose like... I think there's like 15 different patterns. So like I picked greens and I picked yellows and oranges and browns, and a lot of fun.
It is a bee, and it's inside.
Is it between the...
I don't know. He's climbing the screen. Bzzz. Buzz off, bee.
As long as he stays over there,
Yeah, he's good.
I'm good.
Okay.
All right, so then there's ones that didn't make the cut. And that's because they were just so... It didn't work. So one of the ones, and unfortunately there are 4, and I didn't sew them all together, is this just too yellow. So of the yellow that the original solids that I bought, this one didn't work out. But it's already made, so this can go to a different project. So it just goes in the bin. Then this green, that neon green, wah, wah. No, it doesn't work. So that one was a kill. The orange was a marry.
I don't know what's a Mary.
Shoot, kill, or marry.
Oh, goodness. I thought you meant Mary from Down.
No, shoot or marry.
Okay.
So, yeah. So, like, oh, and if I was going to do that. So, these are kills, right?
Which one would you take home?
Okay. This one is a...
This one's a Tom Hardy.
This one I love. Love. Yes, I totally agree with that. I concur.
This is a Tom Hardy.
And the other one, this one is, I guess it's a Mary because it's gonna go with it. Gonna live with it.
This one's a Michael Bublé.
But it doesn't, like, it's in for the long haul.
It's there.
So I've got those, and I'm gonna stick with it flashback to the pattern. I'm gonna stick with the white crosses, and instead of these corners, all of those, I'm just gonna add more blocks, the smaller blocks, and that'll be in the mustard, and then I'm also gonna do in brown. Did I show the brown? No, I didn't show the brown.
No.
So this is the actual center, which is so vibrant, and I do love it.
It's awesome.
So I wouldn't want an entire thing made of this, but with the others, I'm totally digging it. And I happen to believe, yep, I nailed it. 70s kitchen.
Yeah.
Grandma's kitchen is going to exist. And actually, I think it'll be a nice fall quilt. Something that this is definitely for me.
Nice.
Or you can use it too.
Oh, thank you. So he always says I can use a sewing machine.
It's
or
ours.
He calls it our AccuQuilt.
Yep, it's ours. And, I mean, you may not use it, but it's ours.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah. That's it.
you were talking about, and I made a little note for myself. You were talking about the difference in needles, like your metal
Yeah.
and the wood.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so when I've been making the grandma's kitchen,
Mm-hmm.
this one, I did it upstairs, and I was like, oh, I don't want to take that huge Bernina upstairs. I mean, like, and all of my stuff's downstairs, and I'm like, okay. I grabbed my Burnett, which is a much smaller machine, and it's more of a travel machine, I think. Big difference. So, first thing is that I missed my knee
Your knee
lift.
to turn it on.
So to lift, raise, and lower
Oh, yeah.
the foot. I mean, like, even after a couple of days, I'm still with my knee, like, damn, you have to lift it up and down, and, first world problems.
That's what I say. First
world problems. Second thing is it's a little bit more slippery than the Bernina. Now, there is an adjustable pressure for the foot, which means on the Burnett, it's just a dial that you can say, oh, I hardly need any
like
pressure.
Like a tension dial?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No. Well,
No.
It's how much pressure the foot is applying as it's moving back. Okay. So for, like, if you were doing the bottom of your bag,
Mm-hmm.
show your bag, please. So if you're like on the bottom of your bag, this has vinyl.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you don't need a lot of grab for that. A little bit, just a soft is all you need, because it's sticky kind of. Whereas you had a piece of silk, you need more grab.
Okay.
So that's where you have a difference between the foot pressure and the Burnett, which is Bernina's stepchild. It does have that, whereas like my old brother machine never had that. It's just still not as sweet as the Bernina. The other thing that I've noticed is the friggin' bobbin. So like I'm putting like it doesn't tell me when I run out of thread. So I'm just like the fabric is on the other side of the machine, but and I'm going, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay, finished another piece, and it's like it comes apart, and I'm like, it is 2018. I want to know when my thread runs out, and my Bernina does that. Those are like two major things that I've noticed. Like you get used to
Yeah.
what you're working with, and you do have your preferences. So, yes, those are two things that are niceties. They're not have to be's. But
Well, once you get used to it, it's like driving a car with seat warmers, and then you don't want to go.
Oh, three things.
You don't want to go get a car afterwards that doesn't have a seat warmer. So it's like
Yeah.
you didn't take a step back, being fair to the sewing machines, but it doesn't have all the options as your
No.
sewing machine.
Oh, and you're laughing at me, but I'll have to show you a picture of it because I'm not bringing the Bernina up here. I have a Bernina B780, and I put my first sticker on it.
He's gonna load it up with scratch and sniff stickers.
Not scratch and sniff, but
yeah.
this one is vintage simplicity models on like the old timey that you would see on the back of patterns, or on the cover of patterns. And I'm like, I love it, love it, love it, love it. It's kind of tacky, and it's just vintage, and I love it. And I'm thinking, like somebody's going to say, I'm going to sticker the hell out of this machine.
As long as you don't get rid of it.
No. I'm going to sticker the hell out of it. And they're like, I've already talked to some people about it, and I'm like, they're like, that machine is how many thousands of dollars, and you're going to put stickers all over it? I don't want it to be my grandmother's sewing machine. B, I want to know that, like, I want to be reminded that I'm thinking outside the box. I don't want it to be just like, it's the machine, you couldn't tell it apart from someone else's machine. I want it to be mine.
I get it.
Like, I want it to be Fast and Furious.
You want to put a little scar in it so you know it's mine and it earned what you're putting into it.
And it's inspiring. Like, when you're going against the grain, it's like, it's meaningful to me.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's no different than saying, oh, I have these good dishes, and you never use them.
Break them.
Use it. And so, like, I want to be like, that's my machine, and it's very well loved.
I get it. Totally get it.
So, in a long way, that's what I'm making.
Nice. You have a lot of things going.
I do have a lot. And you know what? Actually, this is probably the most I've ever had going at once. I'm pretty monogamous. I'll start one project, and I'll see it through. This one, it was like circumstances dictated that I either made something new or I sit on my hands.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I have fabric. I'm feeling creative.
No.
Yeah. So there.
Nice.
Anyway, we're gonna move on. Had to have it.
Yesterday we went to our friends for breakfast, and they live in like the Fall City area.
See.
And then we were talking, and last week we watched the Mean Girls Knit Podcast. Hello, Stephanie and Rebecca.
Happy birthday to you.
I'm not going to sing the
Yeah.
Stephanie had her birthday last week, but...
and man, she got some loot.
She did. She got some nice yarns.
She got some loot.
Nice yarns.
I mean, like, the prezzies kept coming in. You know what we have for you? Happy birthday.
Yes, we ain't got... So, she mentioned that she went to the Tolt... let me bring up the bag. It is the Tolt Yarn and Wool Company out in Carnation, and we were close to there, so
she went there.
Might as well. She was there a couple weeks ago, I think.
And she was 100% right.
So, when I lived in Carnation, when I moved from Ohio to Washington, the first place I ever lived was Carnation.
Where's that?
This place didn't exist, and I guess they opened in 2013. I have to say, it is probably the nicest yarn store I've been in. So if you haven't made your way to Carnation to Tolt Yarn and Wool.
So wait, when you first are walking and it's on, Carnation is like this.
There's one traffic light.
If you blink, you've passed it.
Yeah.
And it's on Main Street.
I
right?
think that's what it is. Main Street.
Computer, how far away is Carnation, Washington?
Carnation is 21.4 miles away by car.
Was it really that far?
Yeah, it's not really that far.
I didn't realize it was that far.
A half hour or something like that.
Okay.
But yeah, it's my old hood. But yeah, they have a traffic light now. When I lived there, they did not have a traffic light. And I guess I didn't know what to expect. But you walk in, and it's just like gorgeous.
Everything's right. Everything's right.
Everything is right. There's nothing that's cluttered. all the stuff they have. The yarn in is like a really nice wood. The counter's nice. They had their patterns were out and they're like were displayed nice, and they had hats made and sweaters made. It didn't feel like
crowded. It was like, oh, we got a good deal on this. Let's sell it.
Yeah.
It was like everything was thoughtful.
It was very thoughtful. There was a knitting circle in the back, and there was a lot more people there than I thought there was going to be. I was like, okay, how many people actually go to Carnation and
no,
shop
they
for
were hopping,
yarn?
and the ladies
Knitting circle.
I mean, like
No, but
they were chitter chattering.
And one thing about it is, I noticed that they had some Malabrigo yarn and stuff like that, but most of it kind of looked like natural colors. Now I could be totally wrong, but I didn't see any like hedgehog fibers with pink and speckled yellow. It was more just everything just looked natural in there. They had Brooklyn tweed and a bunch of other brands I'd never even heard of, but I'm also newer to the local yarn stores.
It probably reflects her sensibility.
Yeah, it was cozy without being dull. Sometimes cozy reminds me of dull.
I would say it had a little bit more. It was more inviting than we went to Portland, and there was this store that it was like walking into an Apple store.
Mm-hmm.
It was just very white, and it was
really bright,
very bright. This was like it was more calming.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like they have concrete floors that are painted. Then they had wood fixtures, and then they had 8 chandeliers,
mm-hmm.
slow fans, and it was just inviting. There's nice soft chairs to sit in.
Couches. If you're in the area anywhere close, stop by. I mean, it might be one of my favorite yarn stores now, and everybody treated me nice. They walked in, everybody said
But they were
hello.
interested in you, not what you were buying.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, to go with what my little haul is, let's go back to Chip's colors, what he showed. And I got these to make a pillow for the quilt. Let's see what I got here. These are all from a company called Peace Fleece. And some of them are a little bit different, but it is 75% merino wool and 25% mohair. All from Navajo, Lakota, and something. Basically, some South Dakota in here and some Ohio in here. And these are kind of gonna...
So you're going back to the kitchen.
I'm going back to the kitchen with these colors. These are all worsted weight, and like I said, they're all wool. This is a gold color, which is right here. Put that there. This one is marigold.
Now, wait. So in all fairness... the name it's Glasnost Gold.
Yeah, I was afraid to
which
say
is like it's more of an orangey, a burnt orange.
Shaba green. Let's put that in there. Then we have a nice...
I like that one. It's like got some mustard in it.
This one doesn't have a name, so we're just going to call it... Does it say dandelion? No. Oh, mustard. No.
I was right.
That's mustard. We can put it in there. And we might have to move some more over. Then we have the color of...
Is that olive?
Peace Fleece Lily Pad.
So that one's more like an olivey green.
Mm-hmm.
I mean like a olivey yellow green.
And then we have a... What's that word?
It's chocolatey. Espresso.
I can say espresso. I was looking at, whatever that word was.
No, it's right there.
Okay, I was looking at it wrong. This is espresso. That's
not,
why I was like,
not espresso.
Espresso. I don't drink the stuff.
Espresso.
Espresso.
You're Italian.
Well, I don't know that. I've never.
Espresso means
I've had
like, hey.
this much coffee in my entire life, and it didn't do anything for me, and I lived the very wrong place to not be a coffee drinker. And this one says fern, which you think fern would be green. But whatever, this is fern. So I am going to try to make a pillow or 2 pillows to go with Chip stuff.
Yep.
And right now, I was going to go with like this pattern of more of a granny square.
It looks like fried eggs.
It does kind of. I think this one was called Daisy or something like that. Then I was like, well, I'm not too sure. Maybe I'm taking it too literal. Then I looked and saw this.
What do you mean by the pattern?
Yeah, literal of like Granny Square's 70s kitchen kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw this one on Yarn Inspirations, which was a chevron. And I was like, oh, this is it. But
That
then
was
I
very
thought.
modern.
Then I thought, yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, well, the chevron probably really doesn't go that well with the squares. Then I came around this one. It is the geometric pillow, and I think this is actually
Oh, that's perfect.
one I'm gonna go
That
with
actually looks like a quilt block.
when I go ahead and make this pillow. In the back, let me see. The back looks like that right here. This is a free pattern, so it's all right for me to show the thing. So I think that's gonna look pretty cool. One thing about it, I will tell you that this is not the softest yarn. The feel of it.
What is it?
It's like I think I said at the top. It was 75% merino wool and it's 25% mohair. So it's not the softest. So I don't know how rough it's going to feel on the face, but the colors.
This is a dress pillow. It's not a used pillow.
Yeah, well, I'm still going to use it. So yeah, the colors really match what we were looking for, and
I love it. It's
I'm
gonna rock.
excited to get started for it. And let me give you a little. What did it say? So one thing about this company, it says, we began our company in 1986 in response to the Cold War, believing that historic enemies could coexist through trade. I need to do more research on their website to find out what exactly that means. But once again, this was called Peace Fleece, and I'm excited to start to work with it.
I think it's. I mean, like, this is what it's all about. Like, you got inspired. Like, it was like a domino effect, and it's like whatever really inspires. Like, take something that is just like a flashback memory, something that's iconic.
Yeah,
iconic meaning visual.
it's very Wonder Twin powers activate because we're gonna join forces on this one. that's real life.
No, it's gonna be fun because your ugly ass pillow can go next to my ugly ass quilt. No, they're gonna be great.
I mean, they are kind of ugly, to be honest. But I mean,
No, but
But that's the point.
But we're putting ourselves into that. Like, hey, like, this is our process. Boo! Who cares about your process?
Our tacky little designs for our tacky little show.
Yes. All right. So
what did you have to have?
What's that?
What did you have to have?
So, knowing that I like to supersize my quilts, and I do not have a free motion quilt and oogobs of space, there's got to be a better way.
Gotta be.
Now, why reinvent the wheel? Okay, you should not spend oogobs of hours. I've already said oogobs, but I'm going to say it again. Oogobs of time or energy in trying to come up with a solution when chances are you ain't that clever. Somebody else has already had the problem and fixed it.
Mm-hmm.
So I went online and I said, hey, Google, show me quilt clamps, quilt clips, quilt. And so it was hilarious. There was one lady who had her sewing stuff, like her machine, and then she had pulley systems.
Oh, from when she was
because like when you're trying to tame this huge beast,
take a 6-foot
with
thing
all
and
of
move
this
it.
weight, and like you're trying to drive because the needle's doing this, and you're moving it to make patterns and make shapes as you're quilting it. So you don't need something that is pulling all of this weight, and I feel like I'm going to get a ticket for drunk driving. So there was this lady who she had pulleys and stuff to support the weight, and it looked like a hammock. And I'm like, no, that's not, I'm not signing up for all that. So then I just thought in mind, I was like, what if I could roll it and just clip it? That's all I want to do. It was like on Chipazon, it was not easy. Like, I kept getting like hardware stuff and like metal, and I was like, yeah, that's not what I want. So I'm over at the store just down the road, Pacific Fabric, and very nice lady wanted very much to help me, and we found Jaws. Now it's two kits. So, because I figured this one each one comes with 4 pieces. So there's 2 sizes.
Okay.
There's a small. It almost looks like what you would rip off a milk jug. Like this has been safety sealed.
Mm-hmm.
So it's actually even the same color. Now, this was the only one I could find, and it was like not terribly expensive. This was $7.50 per set, and 2 different sizes. So you have a large and you have a small. I'm definitely going to use the larger one. The only bad thing is that you can't really open it like.
Yeah.
I really feel. I haven't tried it out. I really feel like I'm going to snap it, and it's like.
They do. I mean, they might be great, but they do feel a little.
They feel a little bit too.
Not flimsy. But...
They're not very flexible.
Uh-huh.
That's, I guess, the kind of thing. And so it may be very flexible. I don't feel comfortable risking it. So then when I was getting Grandma's Kitchen fabric at Joann's, I just happened to look at the right time, and I came up with these. Now, these are a metal, but they're plastic coated. Or
They
like
feel heavier.
not plastic coated, but they're like they're coated. I don't know what the material is. These I can actually bend and open them up, and I don't feel like I'm going to break them. So again, I've got 4 because you figure 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to need all 4 to tame the beast. So even if it's just having it rolled, it's less likely to like want to drop on the floor. It can't drop on the floor.
Yeah.
So, huzzah! I had to have it. So I'm going to return the other ones because I don't feel that confident in them. Oh, and you know what? 50 cents difference.
Cheaper or more expensive?
They were $7.99. Yeah, $7.99 or $8.99. One of those two. It was not more than $8.99. And I'm like, problem solved.
Nice.
I also had a second, had to have it, that you haven't seen.
Okay. Lay it on us. Yeah, because I didn't even know you went to Pacific Fabrics. You kind of just threw that one in there.
No, you knew I went there. Okay.
Did I?
This one is called... I don't remember what the name is. We got more Robert Kaufman. Gorgeous!
Hello, my name is Fat Quarter Bundle.
That's not right.
How's it not?
Musings. Musings.
Okay.
Is the name of the bundle. And actually, I will take this bundle apart. I gotta close my machine. I'd already told you jokes. So 100% cotton. This one comes with
Do you want to open this one?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16,
I
17.
do like these colors together.
Aren't they awesome?
I do like them.
So this is 16, so that's 4. This is 4 1/4 yards each. And I can't get this knot out. Maybe you should try that one.
I'm not good at knots. I didn't know there'd be a knot thing today, so.
You're not good at knots. Oh! Okay, we'll go with his. So we got one that says, stays pretty.
This is why I should be on Survivor.
There we go. I'm nuts about the combination.
That is fabulous, darling. We just do that.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay.
Huzzah! So, it's a mixture of your blacks and then a gradient of grays. So there's your black, and then you have, I heard that there's a name for this design. It's not a. It's.
It looks like if you took, what's the potato sacks made out of?
Yeah.
What's that called? Potato sacks are made out of?
Yeah, I know it.
It looks like if you took your pencil and
Put a bird on it.
put a bird. What are the potato sacks made of? That's driving me insane.
Somebody let us know what.
No, we know. We'll know after we turn the camera off. But just keep on going.
I don't know. Put a bird on it.
Yeah, that one does have a bird on it.
Then you have more of that thatch. It looks like thatch. And then you have some geometric swirls. Burlap. Thank you.
Gosh darn it.
Put another bird on it.
I like the birds.
And then you have the lighter version. And then swirls, geometric swirls. Then we start getting into the greens.
Oh, pretty. How
Yes.
fancy.
Love it. Then we get into the blues and the greens. And then you get into more like this aqua. And then aqua. And you start getting into darker blue still. And then you get into... It's got some background that's the sky blue and then some darker blue. And then you've got the darker blue into the swirls. And then you put another bird on it.
Yay. No, I like these colors.
I love those
And I guess
colors.
They're Robert Kaufman.
Robert Kaufman.
What's that? Musings?
Musings. Yes.
Complete collection.
Love them. And I think I might want to try a Bargello quilt.
Bless you.
So that means that the design kind of goes like this. So it's a repeating pattern that's skewed.
Okay.
So it's like it steps. So I think I might do that, but definitely like this color scheme for me, it screams I want to be a modern quilt. It doesn't I don't want this to be another grandma's kitchen.
Yeah.
Definitely want to be it.
Something a little bit more hip. I mean, Grandma's Kitchen's hip.
Yeah.
In the 70s way, but this is cool.
So this will be further down the line. I'm not like racing to get this one.
You still got a lot of
I've got so much stuff
quilting
I've got
to do.
But had to have it.
Had to have it. I like it.
Yeah. So now let's go into Me So Pretty.
Yeah, because I don't have anything. Because my next my knit pretty someday, everybody knows, is going to be one of these pillows, which is probably going to be actually this one. But I guess still, I'm on the fence if I wanted to do just a big granny square to go with the 70s kitchen, which is 70s.
I like that
kinda
one.
style, which I think I'm going to do, or if I have enough left over. What are you going to sew?
Well, no, hold on. So now, like bringing that one back, I like this one because it's knitted and
No, I think that's crochet as well. Maybe I'm wrong.
it looks knitted.
Okay. Looks like a garter.
It looks like a garter stitch. Like I know
rudeness.
that. No, but I mean, like a knitted pillow is in and itself, I would think, a throwback.
Yeah, I think so.
So it's got, for me, this has a nice mixture between vintage look and modern.
So last side closed. That is chip work. I am not sewing
no,
it
it's
closed.
this, isn't it?
Probably, but still chip work.
Okay. So now Me So Purdy someday. I'm still gonna. I have three. I've got to finish the quilt top on Grandma's Kitchen, and then I've got to sandwich and quilt three quilts. Postcards from Sweden,
Mhm.
the very multicolored one, and then I've got the basket weave.
The blue and tan.
Yes.
Khaki, yeah.
And then which other one? Oh, Grandma's Kitchen. So
Yeah.
I have like three projects, and that's not like lickety split. So maybe what I should do is pace myself and like introduce another small project, just so I'm like I can feel like I finished something.
Yeah. And we're going to be at DragCon next week, so that's going to cut out that
fierce.
whole weekend, which is gonna be worth it. But
So we're leaving Friday, getting back, and we're going to go to Universal Studios Harry Potter World of what is it? The Wizarding World of Harry Potter.
which is exciting. Everybody's really into that. It's good, but
Oh my god, I'm so excited.
everybody else is. I'm gonna be excited for everybody else. I'm not gonna hate it. It's just,
So to be honest, I don't like being upset in my routine, like packing, like getting things ready. But then once I'm gone and it's out of my hands, then I'm glad. I'm glad. We went last year and it had a total ball. It taught us, what we want to do and how to maneuver the day or the weekend to get the most out of it.
And we got a weekend pass, so last year we only went one day.
No, we went two.
No, we went one day last year.
We went two.
Okay, we went two.
Did we go once?
That's my life. I go, okay. Then 5 minutes later, he usually goes, you know what? You were right. We went Saturday. We got massages and stuff on Sunday.
Did we?
Oh, my goodness, yes.
Oh, my God.
Okay.
So anyway, this year you've got 2 friends going. I've got 3. Well, I've got one of my coworkers and his sister and his partner.
Yeah, we have a lot of, we're getting a lot of people.
And you're bringing an ex-coworker.
Yes.
Who went on to bigger and better things.
One of my good coworker friends is going, and a girl I work with now is going to go. And they're staying together. We're staying together, and you're 3.
They haven't figured out where they're... I mean, as of 2 days ago, on Friday...
That's going to be expensive trying to get a place
on May the 4th be with you. As of Friday, they didn't know where they were going to be.
That should be fun for them.
Well, whatever.
Not my problem.
Okay, and then yesterday, Cinco de Mayo, I didn't eat one chip.
I did. And cheese.
Not me. I think I'm going to go and have some chips and salsa.
You should, if there's any left.
Okay, thanks for watching.
Thanks for life.
We're going to wrap it up and say goodbye.
Bye. There might not be any chips and salsa left.
No. Big jerk.